You suck, your business sucks, and you'll never be successful. How many people paid you $5,000? You ever lied to anybody? Okay, real quick. Anything you see in here? It's over, bro. What's your belief system? You're married, yes, to a woman, or you let your wife wear pants? When I ask you for something and you don't give it to me, are you knowing that you're lying to me?
Lying?
You cannot move being this comfortable. But you be in the crib and your drawers just like, hey, yo. My job is to make you fail. My job is to make you quit. My job is to make you cry. But if you survive it, success is on the other side. What's up?
Hey, what's up?
Yo, why do you seem so nervous?
Cause you went in on Yanni and Trey.
No, I didn't. We had a conversation, and I didn't say anything that I haven't said to them privately, and I'm probably not gonna say anything today that I haven't told you privately.
True. That's a good point.
It's just public now.
Yeah.
So you're an entrepreneur?
Of course.
How long you been an entrepreneur?
A real entrepreneur after I dropped out of college, but I created the idea of my business when I was 7. I started selling stuff in middle school, but it was just like here and there, never like just bringing in a lot of orders or anything.
You make clothes?
Yes, I design gowns.
Is that your main source of money?
Yeah, that and teaching.
Teaching what?
Teaching people how to drape, teaching people how to design.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you was building that like that.
Yeah, my goal is to have my own school one day. But I have a community of 1,800 Black women in mostly Black, in 60 plus different countries who want to learn how to do what I know how to do. Because it's like hard for...
Hold on, Zell, did you know that? Did you know that, 2K? I didn't know. Well, you have 1,800 members that paid you?
No. This is my free community. I have a paid community, but I put a pause on accepting new people.
So you don't make any money from that? No,
I do. The people that's in there, they pay me. I have 2 subscriptions. One is if you purchase my course, then you eventually, that's like $160 a month or $150 a month. Yeah.
You don't know?
I know, it's basically $150 a month.
What do you mean it's basically? How much do you charge?
Well, I'm going up on the prices, $750 right now, but I'm about to take it up to $850.
Hold on. So first you said it was $150.
I let them do a subscription. So that's why I break it down. A subscription on it's like you pay monthly on the course.
I understand. How much? Okay. Pop quiz from audience. How much is it?
There you go.
$850.
Yeah, so
for the course.
Yes, but purchasing the course allows you to get into the weekly class group that I have as well. So I started a subscription group like last year where I kind of modeled it off of how you do morning meetup, but we don't meet as much. So we basically do a call once a week and I teach them how to drape. So, just because how you said you use morning meetup to help you stay consistent with your personal development. When I started learning how to drape, my mentor told me you need to practice all the time. But it was hard for me to hold myself accountable and practice all the time by myself. So now I have to practice every week because I have to get on a call because people are paying me. So that's how I'm like able to grow my skills so much.
Gotcha.
Because
so your course is $850.
It's $750 now. So that really comes down to, I want to say like $135, but I'm going up to $850.
$135 per month, you're saying?
Yes,
Over what period of time?
6 months.
Okay. 6-month program, it's $750 and they can break it down into payments monthly.
Yes, if they
choose to.
And
then after the 6 month, they just can't get on the calls anymore.
No, they are able to join the community.
Oh, so it's a lifetime membership.
Yeah, they're allowed to join, but I know eventually I want to charge more for the, or I guess change the pricing model for the lifetime group thing. I just don't know what that looks like because how you do like 70, well, I don't know if you do 79.
How many people have bought this course?
I launched it a month ago or a month and a half. I have like maybe 10 people that bought so far.
10 people, okay. What were you doing before that to make money?
Basically dresses in classes.
So selling the dresses and the classes, individual classes, it just wasn't a continued program.
Yeah, I would just have, mentorship. So that's, I used to do
what do you do? I'm lost
a
now.
fashion designer.
And I think you're lying to me kind of now.
I'm a
fashion making stuff
designer.
up.
No, I did mentorships and classes.
Okay.
But I did classes first.
Yep.
Then people were like, well, I want you to be my mentor.
Yes.
So then I went into having a mentorship.
Okay.
And so I would do the sales calls. I have people in there. At first I did a mentorship for $1,000 a person. That did well. Well for my first time selling. I got close to 6 people. This was, I want to say, October of last year.
But you don't do that anymore.
No, because I just realized how you told me I need to focus on one thing. I was doing too much. So then I brought the mentorship back again in January. This time it was $2,500 a month. I think I closed. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the subscription. It was $2,500. Okay. And they paid monthly on that as well. They paid I want to say $1,000 or $800 deposit, something like that, and they got to pay monthly after that. So $2,500. I closed 4 people. Okay. And then after that, I said I don't need to do mentorship anymore because I got depressed, and then I just was like a terrible mentor.
You got depressed from them or something outside?
Something outside of that, and so
what was it?
Something happened. Yeah, but
I would imagine something happened.
Yeah, something personal, but
real bad.
Very bad.
Oh, the thing that we talked about. Mm-hmm. Oh,
and so that put me in depression for a good amount of time, and I was not showing up for my clients or showing up for my students.
Yeah, are you over it now?
Yeah, I can say that I'm in a much better place. I was crying every other day for the longest, but I'm good now.
And we don't need to talk about that here, right?
No, we don't need to talk about that.
That was a situation, and it's a very, very personal because I know you. I didn't know it threw you into depression though. Yeah,
I mean, I think you asked me a few times how was I, but I don't want to just tell you you're my mentor, so I don't want to just be yeah, I'm real depressed today, David. So it's hard just I'm good. Yeah. But I was going through it because I was very hurt.
So I'd imagine you just launched a mentorship a month ago or the subscription a month ago. Mm-hmm. You're just getting out of the depression?
Yeah, because I didn't have a choice. You choose to be depressed, so I chose to stay there because I wasn't over what happened.
Do you know why you chose to stay there though?
Because I was angry, I was sad.
But I'm saying you chose to stay there for a reason. Are you saying I would rather be here?
Yeah, I'm saying I wanted to stay there because I wasn't over what happened.
Got it.
I was trying to figure out how do you manage being depressed while also still trying to, how do I word it? Okay, you know how people say what you focus on you attract? Mm-hmm. It's how do you manage processing dang, I just went through some really deep, tough stuff while also trying to be okay or keep your mind in a good state of mind because I'm not going to be fake happy, you know? And so I feel that was I chose to be there because it's I'm not over what happened. I'm actually still really hurt. I'm still really sad. I'm still really angry. So.
And your therapist is helping you get over it?
No. Here's
the thing. I don't know if, I think you used the right word, that it is a choice. Mm-hmm. But you're how old? 25?
Don't add them extra years.
Huh?
Don't add them extra years. 25. Don't add the extra.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But 25, you're going to realize that whatever you went through, some worse things are going to happen.
For sure.
But I think we just got to really find joy in the process and what we're doing. Mm-hmm. But if you allow everything, and again, the thing you went through was tough. I lost my dad. It was tough. I lost my mom. It was tough. And I don't know, maybe my heart is built different where I've gone through a lot of personal development stuff. So I know that whatever I'm going through, it will be okay, and I just can't stop. Especially if you have a purpose. You know what I mean? You have a purpose for something. I'm just telling you, at 25, it never stops.
Yeah, and I've never been like that before. Yeah. I've been depressed before, but I've never been like that, that low. But
are you confident that you can take care of the people that you're asking for money from now?
I'm more so focused on not promising too much to my students.
That's good.
And so I stopped doing, I stopped focusing so much on trying to do content or I'm trying to figure out the best way to word it. I was so focused on I got to do this and this, content and emails and all this stuff for my sewing company, but I'm neglecting my fashion brand, which is the main focus.
Yeah.
Because I looked at it as not leaving any money on the table. If I have all these people that keep saying, I want to learn from you, I want to learn from you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, let me make sure I'm servicing them, but I also need to service my fashion brand as well.
Does this go back to you saying you need validation? Because if someone says, I like how you make dresses, you're like, oh, well, I need to be focused on that. And then somebody says, I like what you do. Can you teach me? And you'd be a great teacher. And you say, oh, well, okay, I'll do that. So almost however someone compliments you, you're willing to do that.
I wouldn't say that. I think actually when it comes to fashion, that's the one thing I don't need validation in.
Yeah.
Someone could tell me that, oh, your design suck, but I know for a fact that it's not.
I'm not saying that. I think you're good.
Yeah.
But it's just as we talk about it, you're like, I did this because someone said they wanted me to do that. Mm-hmm. And it just seems like a little bit of a thing. I get what you're saying. That you're gonna have to fight. You have to fight that off as an entrepreneur. Because customers or people, they'll take you in every which direction based on what they think you should be doing.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's not, you'll say something like, everybody kept asking me to be their mentor, so I started a mentorship. And the reality is, it's not everybody. It was a person that said, yo, I want you to mentor me. And then a second person comes along and you're like, yo, everybody asked me.
I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of people asking me for classes.
How many of them paid? 10?
Yeah, because not 10, but I've had more people participate in my classes, but they want my stuff to be cheap. But I feel like to learn what I know how to do, gratefully, I didn't have to go to college to learn it. Mm-hmm. But that's not the case for everybody. To be able to learn what I know how to do, you have to pay like $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 or more for school, and most of the time you have to go overseas. Like if you live in America, you got to go to different countries to learn this skill. Yeah. I'm charging y'all $1,000 to learn something, so you could, like my mentor, his dresses started $5,000, and he tells me like my skill is just as good as him. I just be in my head about charging a lot, but his dresses started $5,000. I'm teaching you a skill that you could make so much money, and you don't want to pay $1,000. And instead of you having to go to school for 4 years, I literally show my students how to do it in a matter of like 6 weeks.
Well, that's easy to say, but it depends on how good of a teacher you are.
I'm a great teacher. I'm a great teacher.
Are you?
I am.
Okay.
For sure.
How do you know that?
Because the transformation I see in my students, what they say. The only students who don't succeed in my classes is the ones that don't do the work.
It's only 10 of them.
I'm saying 10 people bought my course. Mm-hmm. I've been doing classes since last year.
Okay.
So yeah.
How many successful students do you have?
That learned the skill a lot, but that implemented in their business, a few.
Yes. So that's like me saying teaching, it is your fault.
But
that's like me saying, okay, I'm gonna teach how to start a podcast on a YouTube video. The YouTube video gets 100,000 views. The YouTube video gets 600 comments. Oh, that's great. It's amazing. I'm ready to go. But none of those people actually start a podcast. That is your fault.
Okay, so I get your point of view, but there's like a level of work that's required on their part.
It is.
So once I learned the skill from my mentor, or he didn't really teach me, but once I got the skill by working with him, I went and I did a collection to showcase my work. After that, Netflix reached out. All these people started reaching out because of that work. That has nothing to do with
you teaching me how to do it.
No, but I'm saying I had to put the work out. They will learn the skill, but they're not putting it out. But they show me that they got it. They understand it. It's not that they're like not capable of doing it, but for some reason they are not putting it out. So I don't take the training that far.
You're thinking that you're a good teacher because they understand how to do it, and that's not what makes a good teacher. A good teacher is somebody who gets results.
I think your idea of the result and my idea of the result is different.
I'm just telling you, if I'm teaching a classroom full of students, this kid says he got it, but for some reason he won't do the work. You're saying that's his fault? That has nothing to do with the teacher?
I'm saying that if you've learned the skill and you now have the skill, the gift is in your hand to go sell dresses for a couple $1,000s, but you choose not to do it, I don't think that's my fault because you came to me to learn the skill. And I taught you the skill.
And that is the problem with the coaching industry as a whole. Because people think because you can teach something to somebody that's what they paid for, and they didn't pay for that. There's a million personal trainers out here that can teach you the exercises to do. And you're saying, well, if you don't go to the gym, it's your fault. No, it's the trainer's fault because they haven't figured out a way to get you to do the work. So I did an interview with Jason. Mr. 2 Weeks Out. And his gym is growing by leaps and bounds because he's not just telling people what exercises to do. And they say, oh, do it like this? Yes, do it like that. His job as a trainer is to get them to come to the gym. And whoever can get their client to come to the gym, whoever can get their client to eat right even when they're not around, that's what makes a good teacher.
That's a good point, but that's not where I'm at then. That's not where I'm at then. My involvement I guess as far as I want to go when it comes to my involvement is I just want to teach them the skill. Like I want to teach them how to design a certain way, how to have couture draping skills. That's my focus.
And you don't care if they become successful or not.
I want them to become successful. I try and give them as much information as I can to help them.
But you don't care because you just said my job is to teach you. Once I teach you, it's all on you now. I'm telling you, that's not a good. That's a selfish coach.
I feel like I'm looking at it the same way that I was taught. So,
but maybe the person that taught you gave you some sort of inspiration or motivation to actually want to do it. You can't quantify it that way, like just based on I'm just different and I was willing to do the work. A part of a coach's job is to get them to do it, not just teach them how to do it. So I was on a call yesterday. Me and Donnie have a mastermind. And on this particular call, there were three people. And every person, I'm telling them what to do, right? And I'm saying, okay, guys, next week, this is what y'all need to do. I gave them a whole philosophy, thought process, mindset, all that kind of stuff. But what set me apart is I gave everyone a different set of homework. And I'm driving that I'm expecting by next Wednesday when you come back to this call that you have this done. Throughout the education, I'm saying this is what you need to do by Wednesday. By Wednesday, I need it done. By Wednesday. So at least they have something to do. Now, if I want to be an excellent coach, I want to go to the next level, we're going to send out an email Sunday or Monday saying, hey, this is a reminder of the work. Or I could take their money and say, well, I told you what to do. You didn't do it, so it's on you.
But that's not what I was doing. Like, especially with my mentorship, I basically gave them work to do. They had deadlines. Like, oh, this needs to be done by this time. This needs to be done by this time. But I'm talking about as far as once they learn the skill, they create these garments, and they're done with the mentorship. If they're not actually putting the work out, I guess I wasn't thinking about it being my fault because you came here to learn a skill to help you, and I did everything to teach you that. But okay, look at it from this point of view. How many people go to college and they pay to learn a skill or a specific major, and then they get a degree, but they do nothing with it?
Yep.
So does that mean the teachers and everybody who is over that college is selfish because these people did not do anything with that degree or with the knowledge that they've learned?
Let's compare the success rate of a community college versus Harvard. the numbers are probably drastically different.
For sure.
Why? Because Harvard has a better way of ensuring their students' success. There are some colleges that they built a pipeline. After you graduate, there's a couple jobs waiting because you graduated from this particular school. That's what makes that a good college, and that's what makes a university. That's what makes a community college, because it's saying, okay, you got your degree now. Good luck.
So,
do you think there's a difference between?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. The only thing I'm asking you to consider is the only way that I know I'm a good coach is Wednesday. Did I do or say something to get them to come back to the call to do what I asked them to do? That's how I'm gauging if I'm a good coach or not.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And they're doing the assignments I asked them to do. I feel like we're looking at it completely differently because I don't call myself a coach either. I just say I'm an instructor. I'm going to teach you this couture draping skill.
I want to say, you said something like you're coaching people into something.
I never use the word coach.
No?
Never.
You don't coach them?
I never say coach. I say I will teach you.
You tell them.
I will teach you how to do this. And I fulfill my promise on that. I teach them how to do a certain skill.
That's misleading though.
How?
I think if in the sales, you understand that they're not looking to just learn, they're looking to be successful. And success isn't really about the actual technical skills.
Yeah.
Success is more internal. I'm just saying, if you want your community to grow, you want your program to grow, you want to become more successful as a person that can get people to do stuff, I think you need to start looking at that as your fault.
No, that makes sense. And I do want to eventually add the business side to it so they can understand that more. Like I give them as much as I can when it comes to the business side, but I'm not going to ever market or promote that because I know that's not the main focus or main goal or even something that I feel like I'm like certified to be like marketing. Like, oh yeah, let me show you how to be this super great business owner. But I'll personally in my classes, or if they hit me up and ask me a question, I'll tell them whatever I can about like the business side of fashion. But I don't want to like ever promote that I'm like something that I'm not. So I say I'll teach you the skill, and of course in my classes I'll be like, so y'all, I just learned this like for my business, like y'all should implement this, da 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 da. So I do stuff like that all the time, but I would never promote that because then I feel like that's kind of fake.
I would love for you to like just take some time to figure out how to be a better educator. For
sure. And that's why I stopped doing mentorships, because I realized that it doesn't matter how you feel. People paid you for something, so you still have to do it.
100%.
And so I realized I wasn't ready for that. And just because people keep asking me, can you do your mentorship? Can you do your mentorship? That doesn't mean that I should do it.
Absolutely.
And my main goal is to have a huge fashion brand. The more that I focus on teaching people the skill, the slower it's going to take me to get to where I'm trying to go.
That's a fact.
And so I guess I look at it as a way to make everyone happy, which I do that a lot. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it comes back to what we just talked about.
Okay, because it's like people are asking me for like a few years, like, can you please teach? Can you please teach? And I was like, okay. I was like, this is like the happy medium. Y'all get what y'all want, and I still have like my business, my fashion brand. I can focus on that. I don't have to go too deep into like teaching business and all of that good stuff. Y'all said y'all want to learn the skill. Okay, I'm going to put together a whole program for y'all. You get what y'all been asking for, but I can still do the things I want to do. So I think that's honestly why I like did it, to create like a happy medium for everyone.
You can't make happy mediums. There are very rarely happy mediums.
Yeah.
And I think when you create happy mediums, no one ultimately ends up happy. It's like a subpar, like, because I'm trying to please you, but it's not something that I want to do, and I'm not pleasing myself. I'm not fulfilling my own goals. So I'm actually subpar at helping you in whatever you want me to do. Right? And then I'm cheating myself in that same, there's never really a happy medium.
Or it's like, you can never, thinking of a you know how the scripture of like you can't serve two masters. You can't. The more you go into one side, the other side is going to be like lacking something. It can never be you're giving an equal amount of energy to both sides, and so
let's quit the coaching.
That's what I've been doing, but I want to.
That's not what you've been doing.
That's why I just put out a course so that I don't have to actually.
But you're on call every week.
That is for me though, so I can do my weekly practice.
Okay, gotcha.
And I've thought about that multiple times, but that had like me.
But I'm saying you don't necessarily need the call to practice your craft.
True, it just holds me accountable. That's all.
Because otherwise you wouldn't practice the craft?
I would practice, but I don't know if I would do it every week.
So you wouldn't practice?
I don't know. Like, I think I just like having accountability. Like, someone else holding me accountable. Like, my mentor, he would make me do a presentation every week.
I'm sorry, real quick. On these calls, you're actually teaching them how to do the stuff that you already know how to do, correct?
No, I like to give myself projects and techniques I never did before. So they're
projects,
like real life,
okay,
seeing me create something most of the time that I've never done before. And so it's been a few classes where I'd be like, I'm sorry, y'all, this just look crazy. Like, it didn't turn out right. But that's been maybe like 2 or 3 times. But for the most part, I like it because I'm challenging myself. I have a whole audience watching me.
But I'm saying,
they're watching me make mistakes.
Do you need other people to challenge? I'm just saying, you have this whole program. You got to send them out a link every week, I would imagine. In the Facebook group, you keep them engaged?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes.
So why don't you just quit that? And just, I mean, if your ultimate goal was to build out this fashion brand, you know Milano.
Yeah.
I don't think she'd be Milano if she was teaching classes.
Yeah.
And I don't think you need other people to hold you accountable if it's your real goal. And if you do, it's not your real goal. For me, with the morning meetup, I just need to wake up earlier. So it wasn't like it wasn't another like business that I was trying to build that I need to wake up earlier for. I just needed to wake up earlier, so I just wanted to create this group of people.
But I look at it the same way. Like, I just need to practice once a week. So
you should be practicing all week anyway if this is your ultimate goal. Again, if you need this group of people to get to your goal, then it's not really your big goal.
That's a good point.
It's not like here, it's not inside.
I feel like it is. Maybe it's because I just haven't really tried to do it without having some type of accountability yet.
But that, I mean, is that the only day a week that you practice?
Honestly. Right now, yeah. Unless when I'm making myself stuff. So I just did my birthday dress. That's like me just creating. So unless when I'm just like making stuff. But I typically have a busy week, so I feel
busy doing what?
Well, I have to do the podcast. We meet like probably once or twice, and whenever we come here, we be here all day.
Okay. So there's 7 days a week.
Yes.
You meet here once or twice for a few hours out of the 7 days. What else you doing?
And then I have to do stuff for my brand. So my launch is what I'm focusing on right now. So content.
The launch of the collection.
My pants. Okay. Yeah. And so that, and then I feel like for the sewing company, it's not as much involvement as it was before. So
what's the sewing company?
Ellis Sewing Company is what the classes fall under.
Like individual clients, like making them a dress.
No, Ellis Sewing Company is what the classes and everything.
The classes, okay.
That falls under Ellis Sewing Company. Fashion brand is Jayda Ellis.
Okay. But you're working on the launch for Jayda Ellis.
Yeah, so that's really...
The sewing club companies is the classes.
Yes, but since I've been pulling back from that doesn't really take up much of my time. It's more so just my fashion brand, the launch. And I think when I say my fashion brand, I'm doing the launch, but I also still have clients that I'm servicing too. So right now I have about like, I think 4 orders that I'm working on. But so that's a lot of sewing, but I'm also still having to do work for the launch. So that's taking up a lot of my time. So at least me knowing. When you
say doing work for the launch, what do you mean?
So basically, marketing is what I'm focused on now.
Okay, when you say marketing is what you're focused on, what do you mean?
So basically, I'm going to be doing influencer marketing for the launch. So I've been working on trying to like make the samples. I'm going to make my own website just because I didn't end up going to somebody anymore.
You're working on the marketing, but you said it as if it's taking a big chunk of your time.
Well, like creating the samples takes time. The pants are like super detailed. It's not like these. It's like
you should just do the samples while you're trying to teach all these people. You should quit that.
Yeah, I think it was just something I acted too prematurely on. It's not that I think it's something I wasn't
supposed to do. Send an email today. Hey, we're not doing this no more.
It's like a...
But they would be disappointed, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and I don't like...
And you don't want to do that.
I have this thing
You don't want to disappoint anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or crazy. Like letting people down or people thinking I'm a bad person.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
It's like,
I just shut down my Patreon.
For social proof?
Yeah, it was just... I'm focused on something else. So we sent an email. Hey, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
You've
how many people did you have in it?
Like 60, 70, something like that. You just gotta let them know. But I'm saying for one, all the stuff that you think you're doing for the marketing and launch, it's probably not. In your head, takes up more time than it actually takes. Mm-hmm. As an entrepreneur, I know the thought of doing something takes up more time than actually doing it. It's like, man, it's going to be so daunting. Yeah. But once you get in there and start doing it, it's like, oh, I just knocked it out.
Yeah, I actually don't think the launch is taking up most of my time.
But you added that in the description of what's taking so long. Well, I'm working on this launch.
I think what's taking the most time is my actual client work, like sewing for all these people. That it takes time to sew stuff, sew dresses and things like that. My launch takes up time, maybe like 20% of my time. Mm-hmm. It's not like that's a big chunk of it. Majority of my time, let's say like 70% goes to sewing.
Okay.
And so that's why I say I'll be busy. I have a lot going on in my week. So I look at me taking an hour and a half, 2 hours to hop on a call and drape something. It's like, okay, I know I have to show up to do this call. So,
but you don't necessarily. I mean, if it's 70% of your time, and I don't got time to get into this whole 70% calculation that you put together. Okay, I just don't have the time. Okay. But if 70% of your time is it's actually sewing, why do you need accountability to get on there and practice sewing?
I feel like you have to like remain a student of your craft. So I don't like when I get in phases of, the only design that I'm doing is for my clients. You should always be like elevating your craft. You should always be like experimenting with new things, trying new techniques and things like that. Sometimes it's hard to like explain to a client, hey, I really want to try this technique on your dress. They're not a fashion designer. They may not really comprehend that. So, and a lot of people, they may say that, they're coming to me for dramatic stuff, but maybe because they're confident or whatever, they may want something a little more simple. Bro. So,
quit the little community.
But
sell your course if you want to, because I don't take a whole lot of time. But just quit the little community. It's not helping you get to your goal.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And these people aren't even buying your dresses. And if you were gonna like try something, I would try that on YouTube or Instagram Live or something like that, because at least some of the people in there may be a client.
Yeah.
But the people that you're teaching, they're not. It's a waste of time.
That's a good point.
So you gonna tell them tonight?
I tell them that I like to give them a date. Say we have like a month left or something.
That's good.
I don't just want to like.
Maybe we got 2 more calls left.
Yeah. Or actually, it makes a year in October, like the first week of October. So maybe you can just be like,
hey guys, we got 3 more calls. It's over. I'm going to chase my dream.
I might
Follow
do something like that. But yeah, I feel like
it's a whole obligation. And is it the same time every week? Mm-hmm. What time and day? What day and time?
It's typically Saturday. Sometimes if something comes up, then we may like reschedule to a
what time
different day.
Typically Saturday?
Oh, it's 12:30.
12:30. Mm-hmm. Don't you hate that you got to jump on that call sometime and it could be other cool stuff you could be doing? Yes.
I work on Saturdays regardless.
I understand, but there's
occasionally there's
to
some
prepare
Saturdays.
For this call. Yeah, bro, you can't. I do this. I understand. I've been here before. You just got to stop.
And
you have to really re-engage with your desire to hit your goal. Because as long as I've known you, you've always talked about building out this line, this fashion line, and designing.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, no, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. And I think you are, but I think it would accelerate if you just start cutting the fat.
Yeah. I guess, when you take advice from too many people, and so I think my business has just become that. Like, people say, like, oh, everyone's doing courses. You should have a course. You should have a platform where you teach people.
You start working on the course.
Go make a Facebook group. Okay, bet. I make a Facebook group. All these people joining, all this stuff. So,
but you know why? You know why these people are giving you this advice?
Why?
Because I don't think, even now I think you're more now than you were, but for a long time it just wasn't clear on who you wanted to become and what you wanted to do. Even if you were talking to your mentor and you say, yo, my goal is to build out this clothing brand, no mentor is going to tell you need to start a Facebook group.
Oh, yeah, he did not tell me that at all.
100%.
He never told me that.
But if you get clear on where you're going, it's really hard to take you off the path. But most people get taken off the path because it's like we don't keep our eye on the ball on where we're going because we don't know exactly where we want to go.
I think my issue is I actually know exactly what I want to do.
Do you?
But my issue is caring about other people's opinions or caring so much about what people say that I know what I want to do, but it's kind of like,
let's say you had a guy and you're super in love with this person, but then you get mixed into all these other groups of people where they're like, yo, just cheat on your husband. It's all good. Like, yo, you should like do what we do. You need to be empowered. You need to like. Would you listen to those people?
No.
Why? Because you are super locked in on what you're locked in on. And you're not going to cheat on the person.
But
so this is how I look at it, right or wrong. We start cheating on our dream with other stuff that just seems attractive, and it takes so much longer. Once I really started focusing on taking care of my family, it was a lot harder to take me off the path.
Yeah.
I'm not just chasing money because I believe that if I just focus, and I'm not making as much money as I'm going to make right now, but one day I'm going to get to this point and I'll be able to take care of my family. And once I did that, everything started opening up.
That's a good point.
You're cheating on your dream, and your dream deserves more attention and love and focus.
Yeah. I'll send the email out.
Good. Give her a round of applause, guys. All right. You just watched this whole episode. If you like this episode, watch this one right here. Click right here. You're going to like this one if you like the one you just watched. Check it out.